that he would sit quietly without disturbing the program. Baba allowed him to come back. He sat quiet for only some time, but then he would periodically stand up and recite Sanskrit shlokas. Baba then paid no attention to the hymn, and the ghazal singing continued uninterrupted, along with periodic recitations from Dr. Deshmukh. Baba enjoyed his simplicity so much. And really, his relation with Baba was so lovely. There's a wonderful picture of Baba pushing the pram at Guru Prasad that he had to push to strengthen his hip and leg
Oh, right. Yes.
after his auto accident in America.
Hmm.
This is in 52. And they put a stone in the seat of the pram so it would have ballast and he could lean against it and push it and get resistance that he needed to get the workout.
Hmm.
And Deshmukh, whom Baba invited any chance he was free from his school, from his university teaching, happened to be there when Baba was doing this. Seeing it, he couldn't help himself and spontaneously exclaimed as to that stone's good fortune as to be pushed by the avatar. With a twinkle in his eye, Baba asked Deshmukh if he were jealous of the stone, and then told him to get into the pram himself. He demurred, but Baba insisted, and Deshmukh sat in the baby carriage and allowed him to be pushed down the veranda by Baba, to the great amusement of all the Mandali. And the last one is the classic. Somebody had given Baba a present in a beautiful basket with beautiful ribbons and wrapping paper, and somehow the basket stuck around. And Baba decided to play a joke on Deshmukh for April Fool's Day. And Erich found a rock, and Ball says they wrapped the rock in 7 colors of paper, put it into the basket, wrapped ribbon around it, and made it absolutely beautiful. And when Deshmukh came into the hall that day, it was presented to him. Deshmukh thanked Baba, put down the basket, and sat down in front of Baba. Knowing what Baba wanted, Erich turned to Deshmukh and asked in surprise, "Doctor, aren't you going to open the present?" "There will be plenty of time for that once Baba leaves for lunch," Deshmukh replied. "Why worry about a present when Baba is here before me?" Although the men Mandali were touched by the love evident in Deshmukh's answer, Baba kept secretly gesturing to them to get him to open the present. So Erich had to nag Deshmukh and point out that it was rude of him to ignore a present that Baba himself had given. Finally, Deshmukh relented and opened up the wrapping paper bit by bit by bit. He couldn't undo the ribbon. He had to admire it before he could set it down. He couldn't seem to unwrap the paper. And all the Mandali were itching to see how he would react. And Baba finally gestured to Eric, "Come on, speed this up." And Erich ripped the paper away, and there was the stone in the basket. And what Deshmukh did was burst out with joy. He was delighted, held it up in wonder and appreciation, and exclaimed, "This is the greatest gift Baba could have given." And Erich has to point out, "It looks like an ordinary rock." "Yes," Deshmukh agreed. "If Baba had given me prasad, I would eat it, and then it would be gone. An ordinary gift, too, would decay, would not last. But this stone will last forever, so that I will always have it, and thus it is the perfect gift." Even Baba was defeated. In the joke on him, the joke ended up on Baba and the Mandali because of Deshmukh's utter purity and ignorance. He was divinely ignorant of so much of life. I'm not going to tell the cow patty story, but I will remind you of it. Another classic. Happy birthday, April Fools, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah, Jay Bob. That's so
Jai
funny.
Baba.
Janet, he was a philosophy professor, right?
He was a PhD in philosophy. He edited the discourses.
Yeah, amazing.
He was a champion intellect,
Mm, yeah, wow.
and he still had this utter unworldly simplicity.
Mm.
Wonderful. Thank
Our,
you, Janet.
yeah.
My pleasure.
Our friend Carlos, I guess, didn't make it. Maybe he'll show up.
Oh
He's
dear.
out there in the ether, still trying. But Tony, as I wrote to most of you, put the people in the Eastern time zones who are late at a later time than we are here at California first. So Tony Paternini is next, coming to you live from New York City.
Tony, yay.
Hi.
Hi, Tony.
Let me get the gallery up. Okay. So I always struggle with what I'm going to read and putting something together and timing it. And all I've got now is whatever came to mind or was printed and laying around. And I like it so far. The first is, I couldn't find this one, but it's the first poem that I wrote. I've been studying, I took a course, a Queen's College survey course on some of the later British and American poets. And I wrote this, and I may miss a line or so, but I remember it pretty much. Of all the gods of the sea and air and those ruling the murky blue, their names are but the attributes of the infinite that is you. And of all the sages and the truth oft uttered in history's span, they speak but only posthumously at the motion of your hand. Mayor Baba, your name glows luminously amidst the darkness of our minds, and our living in it continuously is the only way we'll find peace and love's tranquility at the end of a sea of fire, and the ineffable bliss of love divine at the dissolving of all desire, the desire to think, the desire to speak, the desire to and do, the desire to all in separateness from you. But heart's desire is to quench this thirst, and of all desires be through, save the one desire of our heart of hearts that desires for union with you. Oh, Mayor Baba, shining sun of living truth, help us all to love you more and more and more and more, and still yet more, till we become worthy of union with you.
Oh, Jai Baba.
And
Lovely.
then this one, there was the Pete Townsend album that had those great Van Gastrin 36 millimeter prints of Baba. That was the best photographs around at the time. And just based on that, was one of Baba sitting before Seclusion Hill, and the other was just Baba's face. I wrote Mayor Baba seated. Mayor Baba seated on a straw-backed chair in a thin daman on a bright green afternoon, directs the affairs of the universe on the minutest scale of joys and tears, on the grandest scale of fears and wars. Volcanoes spit island-consuming lava. Lovers discover each other. A guiding star is swept from sailors' ken, and souls are born into this world again, where they'll strive to rediscover what they lost when they passed the sea of darkness, when they crossed the sea of dark oblivion into night, illumined by the travel and the flight into shapes of seeking for wisdom and for light. Mayor Baba, seated on a straw-backed chair in a thin daman on a bright green afternoon, directs the affairs of the universe and the hearts of lovers and their unfolding into patterns of praise of his love and beauty. Avatar Mayor Baba Ki Che.
Avatar Mayor Baba Ki Jai.
And then I came across two poems that I had written based on a painting. My wife was studying a bit of portrait painting a few years ago, and this painting of Bob's just blew me away. I will try and hold it up while I'm reading this. Let's see. I hope you
Oh,
can.
I love that.
Ooh.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Now let's see. The Way We Fly. Zeke is my wife. Zeke's portrait of Baba is swell. She made it so quickly using a new technique she's learning. The colors tell a story of light, a story of shade, reflecting meaning that can't be made by an act of will, but which emerges as part of life's creative surges in the soul of the artist, the gem of love's eye. I'm grateful to witness the way we fly when we give our spirits to love. And then there's one more about the same.
I love that.
A taste, there we are, a taste of bliss. Zeke's art uplifts me. And when she paints Mayor Baba, she gives me the priceless gift of his divine presence. How does she capture those eyes? The more she forgets herself, the higher she flies and the deeper she goes. God alone knows how she does it, or is he doing it through her? Yes, that's always the paradox. The artist becomes the object of her love, so she may paint the authenticity of his being, not her own. And yet, it is her own that shines in her reflection of his. This is the secret formula that brings the real artist to a taste of bliss.
Oh, wonderful.
Mm.
Yay, Baba.
Hey, Baba, I
Mm.
may have time for something more. Let me see if it's only one. I'll do this one. It's a
Mhm.
guzzle called All Embracing. A guzzle or a sonnet. I was never quite sure for this one. As the chef prepares a gourmet breakfast in which all life shares. Love's suffering is so much better than the suffering of meaninglessness. Exquisite, poignant, sharp, and sweet. It is life advancing, not in retreat. Love, you cook me on your flame, and I am changed. You call my name and singing softly bring me to existence as part of you, and I am as part of you. Serve me, love, that I may be a part of your humanity. As food for life, this meal's been bought, better than being food for thought. In giving myself to love, just see, you're expanding my reality to all embracing. And I think I have time. I put the timer on since I hadn't reset. When I'm a little more trust, a sonnet. When I'm down and troubled and when I'm down and troubled and need a helping hand, please burst my bubble, I will understand. When my toil is doubled by too many plans, come lance the boil, I'll understand. When life becomes too much for me to bear, then let me hear you say, the sun will rise on another day. The rain clouds have all gone away. Sometimes a little more trust is needed for the next great dream to be duly seeded. Jay Baba.
Oh, thank you,
Hey,
Tony.
Baba, Tony. Yeah.
Jay Baba, dear.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Lovely.
Let's see. The next person is Gabriella, and she's in North Carolina. So,
Gabriella,
and by
yay.
the way, excuse me for just if anybody who isn't on the list and didn't prearrange to recite something, everybody will be welcome to. So, anybody, whatever you, even if it's just a passage from Bob or whatever, or anything you want to share later on. Oh, okay, thank you. Go ahead, Gabriella. Was. Yeah.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna read a couple from my book, Ripe Time, which was put out this past year. These are old poems, and then I'm gonna read a couple that are newer. So these are from my kind of coming to Baba time. I just opened up to whichever page of the older ones. We'll see what these are.
Nice. Nice.
This is called No One But Me. Your eyes were dark with the grief of nations, and the red of the earth core shone through. I raced towards you to comfort, to hold you, but you receded from me like the shoreline as I stepped in your direction. I begged you to wait for me, and I saw the beauty of your eyes, like a volcanic substance flowing in and out of the ocean, until the sea became molten black, and even the fish screamed in agony. In horror, I backed away, falling on the sand. Then suddenly, you were before me, smiling like always. You see what I have to put up with? You said lightly. And I bent over double in my shame and remorse, for when you had shown me but a patch of your reality, your true suffering, I had recoiled. So now you were light and delightful with me, and I cried tears like rods of iron in flame, thrusting into and out of me. You held me gently and said, no one but me can bear my suffering in this world. The fact that you wanted to try brings me closer to you, like the eyelid to your eye.
Yeah, lovely. Jai Baba.
Yeah, I did just open that, but it was kind of an Easter.
Yeah, it was
Um,
great.
yeah.
I loved it.
Okay, well, this is the one next. What I read you this one's called "It Could Be Done in an Instant." The clouds turn their heads, look askance in long gazes, leaving pieces of thread and color helter-skelter across the sky. In the privacy of their shelter, accepting the modesty of their glance, I find I am naked before you, Baba, cannot find the door. Panic overtakes me. You catch me with the wind of love, so surprised at your softness, tears of confusion slip through. It could be done in an instant. That is, I could give myself to you. I could fall into that unknown chasm of light, but instead, I dance with you, giving small pieces of my fear at a time, while you patiently move with me in illusion, swaying with my moves, caressing my tears, cradling me in sleep, or whenever I allow.
Oh, beautiful. Jai Baba.
Wow. Thanks, you guys. Okay, so that was a long time back. Let's see what's happened over time. I don't know, better or worse. Okay, so this is one called it's about my coming to Baba. It's called You Held the Lamb, I Was the Lamb. The picture was tacked to my wall when I moved to this place. Out of the racket of mind and explosions of gold sorrow, I was dropped here. Like a lamb, innocent of the reason of my own wandering, I saw your picture there and pretended not to notice. I wouldn't take it off the wall. That is a saint, after all, I thought. But I had walked in that valley and been hurt to the point of despair. Meher Baba held me, the lamb, the vision, until he gently permeated my crushed mortality. I turned toward him in a half-moon posture, and the fibers of my nearly dead soul began to vibrate, first in relief, and finally in delight.
Mm,
Jai Baba.
yeah, Baba.
You all know the picture that was
Thank you.
Yeah.
it's on the wall when I moved to Chapel Hill.
Loved it.
Mhm.
Okay, here's one just recent called Does It Count? Does it count when I can't see the archer and have no idea of its origin, but the arrow is deep in my still living body, and I shake as I remove it myself. Your nakedness, your invisibility, your transparence, your perfect aim. Grief has no home. It wanders far and wide, picking up bits of grit and sorrow as it rides. Anger rides on the shoulder of grief, hitching a ride. Terror is under grief's jacket, tearing it wide. Screams in my mind, no one wants me, no one needs me. It's not the thing that God has done, but that which the family of man does not provide. I am so sorry, Baba, as I cannot find a way out of this pain. I seek its origin and can find no other one to blame. If you would just visit once, I could forgive you. I prepare brunch for you in my dreams, but the time is always wrong and you never arrive. Oh, beloved, forgive my lack of love, my abundance of need, my terrible need to be needed and seen by you, my terrible need to be wanted in this world when you continue to insist that I am yours alone.
Jai Baba. I love that. Thank you. Beautiful.
Oh.
Great.
And with a one short one, and the
Mhm.
last.
Yeah.
You have given me everything. Under the golden temple of sun, looking up into her like the inside of a lit parachute. Birds nibbling song, ripples caress. You have given me everything. Songs for sorrow and songs for joy. The ability to waft like wind, the tumble down chimneys of light, and an anticipating heart after midnight.
Mm.
Jai-
Jai Baba.
Hey, Baba. Thank
Mwah. I love that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Marcia, are you here? Marcia Maltz? I don't know if I saw her or not. She was going to come. I think maybe she's not here tonight. Marcia. Okay, yeah, Marcia's not here. So let's see. So the next on the list is Bill Gannett.
Hi. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, sure. And you can, Bill, you can read more than two if you want. Anyway,
Okay.
yeah.
So I have some guzzles to read. I write guzzles. You doubtless know that guzzles are based on the theme of praise and complaint, and they're not always lovey dovey. Even in the work of Hafez, the great perfect master, who was Baba's favorite poet, his poetry is often caustic, um, to a extraordinary degree. Um, at the same time, lauding the master who um, guides his life. This ghazal is from my book, the Ghazals for the Friend, which if you haven't bought, you should buy. And if you haven't bought it, when you go out and buy it, you might as well buy 10 or so copies for friends. That would be a great gift for those people whom you have neglected. So this ghazal is call is uh, about um, about our time. The story of our nation is based on exceptional tragedy. Our blood-soaked bravery proudly waves the flag of cupidity. Columbus arrived for gold, but returned with feathered slaves. Historic conceit, moreover, crowned him an exemplary knave. For his home, the red man was traded smallpox and booze. The white conniver, sober and astute, was never one to lose. The black African was brought in chains to generate capital. To get rich by another man's sweat is always most affable. Our sweet water and rich land, the elements raped in pillage, are on chemical life support and sold as the purest sewage. Jamestown was our first corporation, the mother of us all. The dividend is her tit that keeps us so blissfully enthralled. Darvish, America is the place to get rich quick by insane gain, where God smashed his body and broke his bones in great pain.
Mm. Okay, Baba. Yeah.
Hey, Baba.
Okay, so here's another guzzle from the same book, Guzzles for the Friend. Since the beginning, God's own whim has always protected us. Who am I has nurtured our voice from stone to singing dust. Our thirst has grown gradually to become our best friend.
Mm.
It is on the glass of desire that all our hopes now depend.
Mm.
Love at first was scarcely an intermittent drop. Now each drink promises a bottle to be our lot.
Mm.
It has come to this. We don't know who we are unless drunk.
Mm.
All but your laugh, smile, kiss and touch is trash, pure bunk. We approach your grace with our empty glass held high.
Mhm.
We live with the one thought that by your mercy we die.
Mm.
The dawn breeze brought the scent of strong Shirazi wine. I resolved at once to all other aperitifs decline. Darvish can no longer be sure who or what he is.
Mm.
He has no doubt the beloved is truth, knowledge, and bliss.
Mm. Okay. Okay, Baba. Yeah.
Hey, Baba.
Okay,
Mm.
and here's the third guzzle.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
The self-same avatar has had many different births. The God-man thousands of times has walked this very earth. The same one glorious sun has many different names. Light is not diminished because of linguistic claim.
Mm.
How is it that Jesus has become the one and only Savior?
Mm.
Why would one prophet among many enjoy such favor?
Mm.
Christian fundamentalists are such a pious and brainy lot.
Mm.
The Bible as the literal word of God. Oh, what total rot. The same holds true for the Quran, but to a lesser degree. The text is not corrupt. Oh, but the reading sure is nasty. Forget about the books, even the big Buddhist canon. Silence is so much more impressive regarding the Atman. Why are all the lovely occasions of God forgotten? Darvish shouts out, "It's all those books rotting and rotten."
Okay, Jai Baba.
Jai
Baba.
Baba.
Now I have my last contribution is a ghazal from Hafez, which I have translated. And it begins with the line, "I and the denial of wine. Whose story is this?" I and the denial of wine. Whose story is this? Do I really have such reason and contentedness? Day and night I have plundered piety with harp and daff. Now my way is all peace and quiet. How is that? The ascetic is excused if he declines the wren's way. Love is an affair dependent on love's divine play. I am the slave of the Magian, who has lifted my veil. Whatever the master does is the very eye of the tale. Until the end, I was not aware of the way of wine. My abstinence would have been long, long since declined. The ascetic, strange in prayer, and I, drunk with poverty. Between the two, which one for you signifies bounty? Last night, I got no sleep because the Hakim was pained. He said, if Hafez is drunk, it is good grounds to complain. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. Thank you so much.
So what's the Hakim? Is that
So Hakim is the lawyer.
Okay.
The Hakim is the learned scholar lawyer who interprets religious prescriptions and who is the great censor of Hafez's libertine ways.
Read the last couple one more time. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Sure. Sure. Actually, there are several inclusions in this ghazal that may be foreign to most readers. The last couplet goes, last night I got no sleep because the Hakim was pained. He said, if Hafez is drunk, it is good grounds to complain.
Jai Baba. Okay.
So one other remark, the Rind, the third couplet goes, the ascetic is accused if he declines the Rind's way. Love is an affair dependent on love's divine play. So the Rind is the bad boy of Hafez's divan, or his over. The Rind is the one who is the object of scorn by authority and religious religious authority, and who's given to drink, basically. And I believe all the other terms are pretty well known.
Okay. Thanks, Bill. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Always enjoy your puzzles.
Thank you, Bill.
You're welcome, Bentley. And I'm looking forward to your poetry. So don't run away.
You'll hear Ben lead in about 10 or 15 minutes, probably. Michael Childs is next.
Good evening, all.
Hello.
I'm going to give you the words to two songs that I wrote in '74 when my life was being torn apart with a marriage dissolution, and business was terrible, and it was a rough time, and I was living at the center.
Hmm.
And I could go into it, but I'm not.
Hmm.
Let us sing to the glory of God. My voice is shot these days, so not normally, I wrote this as on the guitar with the song singing, but I love the words.
Mm.
Have you ever seen the sunrise on a mountaintop with its snowy peak turned to gold? And the rosy clouds drift across the sky like shutters to the stars. And the chilly damp of the morning air forms a cloud on a still dark lake, while the leaves in the trees stir in the mist, and the birds the world awake. Let us sing to the glory of God. 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 Have you seen the smile of a little child as he leans upon your breast? Have you heard him sing a song of love and trust as he nestles on your chest? If we had his love and boundless faith in God, heaven would open wide. The world would vanish before our eyes. We'd stand face to face with God. Let us sing to the glory of 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 God. Can you hear my cat in the background? Let us sing to the glory of God. Let us rise to the call of the dawn. Let us sing our praises to God's creation. Sing a song of celebration. See how all the world revolves with joy around the sun. Listen to its song of praise. From the rumble of the ocean to the whisper of relief, we all sing and celebrate. See the land awaken with the warming of the sun, and life begins to move. Let us hold each other's hands and hear each other's hearts as we sing our song of love. Let us sing to the glory of God. 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 Let us sing to the glory, Baba repeats, and let us sing to the glory of God. It ends with a big finish. So,
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba,
I love that.
thank you. Let us sing to the glory of God. Let us sing to the glory of God.
Is Michael, is that one in the book, the Ancient One songbook?
It may be the source book, you mean?
I think it might be.
I'm not sure. It should be.
Yeah, I think
The
it is.
trouble is, it has 3 choruses, and each one of them is different, and it's very difficult to write out properly.
Hmm.
So until I get a hold of a Sibelius writing program, I'm not going to be able to set it up exactly the way it should be sung. Here's another song that I don't think is in the book. What happened in '74, I went to India. In the 3 weeks I was in India, my business was completely destroyed by the oil embargo. And I didn't know it at the time, but that and the wife leaving, taking the children to the West Coast. And so I go to India, and there was just maybe 4 or 5 Westerners. And Erich took care of us, and we were in Marizad, and we were having tea, and a young army officer for the nearby garrison came up, and he asked Erich, "Can I find peace with Meher Baba?" And Erich intuited what I was going through. It was when I was in '69, when I was face to face with God, and I went mad. Not stark raving mad, but Deshmukh kind of mad. And so Erich just knew what I was going through without talking to him a lot. And he looked at me and said, "Tell him, Michael." And I looked at the Army officer and I said, "You want peace? I'm on fire." And that's what this poem is. It's like fire. I long to see your face. In a lonely alley, you came by, a blinding burst of brilliant sky. Wandering in the garbage and the darkness of my mind, I searched and searched, but you had gone, leaving only the faintest trace guiding me to your embrace, yearning for your glance once more. I long to see your face. I long to see your face. I long to see your face. Chained to walls as still as death, I hear a distant laughter more quiet than my breath. The dreary gloom begins to brighten, the chains begin to break. I hear you coming, oh, so softly, to lead me into your arms. Guide me by your grace. May her touch my eyes. I long to see your face. I long to see your face. I long to see your face. Oh. Closer, 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 still you come. Your footsteps ring like a mighty drum, wafting in the fiery breeze, swaying to a primal beat. I wait and wait. Oh, love, come soon to take me into your embrace. Guide me by your grace. May her touch my eyes. I long to see your face. I long to see your face. I long to see your face. There's a jazz solo in this. The cat is meowing. It's so funny that Baba adds a little humor to this. Just don't get so.
Well, it is April Fool's Week.
How much do I don't feel that way anymore, but at that time I was on fire. Oh, true love, what have you done? Falling at your feet, I beg your love for crumbs. Maddened by your fleeting form, your touch that so intoxicates me. I'm doomed to wander, calling your name, your name, your name, your name, living only for your embrace. Guide me by your grace. May her touch my eyes. I long to see her face.
Mm.
Hey,
Mm.
Bob.
Gee, Baba.
Hey, Baba, Mike.
You want one more?
Okay, one more.
This one is lighter. 20 years have gone by. It's lighter. I have a special friend. His name is Ben. He is my son. Full 9 years old with brown eyes and stocky build. His smile is wide like a river and as sweet as blackberries. We adore each other, he and I. I made a promise to be worthy of his love, and he in love loves me like I love God. He defends me from attackers. He yields his mind to me, though it is often filled with baseball cards and chewing gum. I'm honored with his simple conversations. He is generous with his heart. His love turned me away from feeling I was a failure. It gave me purpose when I was lost. Lord, what a gift you have given me to have you in a little body, surrendering to my imperfect will. You found another way to teach me, another way to reach me. Thief of thieves, you stole my heart with my child's heart. What is the purpose of life? What is the meaning of it all? I'm still distracted by this cat that wants me to feed her, and she's been fed. Why do people kill each other? Why do children play? What did you do today and yesterday? And did you know that whales beach themselves and die? That particles of dust make you sneeze? Why and why and where and why and what and why and how? This is the quid pro quo that forms the quiltwork of our lives, the conversations that fill the mind, the questions that kill the heart. the empty, mindless, time-consuming words and deeds that inch us closer to the bleak and frightening end that is the final answer to the question, why? Friend, you are not to be found in these perturbations of the mind. You are found between the cracks of thought when mind is stilled by paradox. Lover of mine, you hold my chin with your thumb and forefinger, looking deep into my eyes. I see your boundless love, bedazzled. I forget to even ask you, when? So,
Jay Bob.
hey, Baba.
Hey, Baba, beautiful, yeah.
Mm,
I
mm.
think your kitty likes poetry. It's Baba's kitty.
Well, God manifests around us all the time, so
Uh-huh.
Right.
it's just to
Meow.
perceive the clues, you know.
Okay, Mary, you're on.
Okay. I just have one long one and three short ones.
Okay.
Okay, so the first one, it's I go to the Tuesday Zoom book readings with Doug, and we read so many books, and every once in a while something comes through, something that Baba had said that just brings a poem. So this one it's called See Me As I Really Am. Baba, once I felt your presence and saw your image, tears of unconditional love and joy trickled down my awestruck, humble face. I knew in that moment that the life I had known was over. Your glance stripped away my limitations as I lived them until my heart exploded into tiny little bits of sparkling, divine love for everyone, for everything, and for this broken, illusory world in which we live. You continually restore my vision, so I can only feel your beauty now. Time and time again, you whisper to me, see me as I am. All these years, it sounded like a riddle because I was so focused and overwhelmed by your earthly form. You took my tattered heart and turned it around so easily so I could see through your eyes of love just how beautiful we really are. In your beloved compassion and wisdom, I have learned to forgive myself. I have learned to forgive others, even before the idea of forgiveness even arises. All these years, I was lost in your image. Your photos are everywhere, in my home, in my heart, in my car. Why, even the pizza guy looks like you, Baba. Baba, may I glance at others through a heart of your compassion. May I feel your heart, your soul, your infinite wisdom in every breath I take. May I come to realize when the time comes just how fortunate I have been to have been born into this body that led me home to you. See me as I am, you whisper to us over and over again. See me as I am. Okay, that's that one.
Jay Baba, Mary. Beautiful.
Okay, and then the other two are love poems before I knew that Baba was in my life. So this one is about when I dropped my car off to be worked on at my local mechanic many years ago, but it was a love story. So this is for my mechanic, John Hauer at Hauer Auto Repair in Burlingame, California. It's no longer there and condominiums have been built, so it's a memory. I asked you how old your daughter was just the other day when I dropped my car off for service. Your eyes smiled big and blue and proud. She's 12 now, you beamed. She's amazing. Her life is vibrant, and there aren't enough hours in the day to experience all of her joy. She rides horses, and plays sports, and she's having so much fun. When she does something she's proud of, she tries to find me in the crowd and smiles. She is so excited about this time of her life, and I am so proud of her. It doesn't matter whether she wins or loses, but only that she tries. I smile as I watch you drift off into thoughts of your child. A nearby train rumbles down the tracks, but all I can hear is the echo of this precious moment you are sharing with me. Finally, you ask me what service I need for my car today. I can't remember. All I can think of is your daughter and just how much you love her.
Hmm.
That was sad. Okay. And then this is one more channeled by Baba before I knew him. When I was younger, and if I would have sad days or something, I would go to a nearby nursing home to visit people and forget about my troubles and give love to people. So this is a poem that I wrote about a nursing home, a woman that I met named Margaret. You told me your name was Peggy, but preferred that I call you Margaret, since Margaret sounded just a bit more dignified. I took your pale white hand in mine and told you it was a pleasure to know you. They don't treat me so well here, you said, as you looked at me with sad, sad eyes, your lips pouty and trembling. I asked you in that moment to go to a place with me where love is all we know and all that matters. We held each other's hands, Margaret and me, as we journeyed to that place deep inside where in one glance and in one moment, we felt so immediately safe and secure. That's all. Jai Baba.
Love it. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Thank
Jai
you.
Baba, Jai Baba, Mary. I can see why Baba had his eye on you.
Yeah, he's got me and I'm all in.
Okay, Ben Leet. Go for it, Ben.
Hi, thank you.
Mhm.
Enjoyed the poems as I always do. Gabriella, I really love your poems.
Me too,
Thank
yes.
you. And the rest of you as well. So I was going to read an angry war poem, and I decided I'm not going to do that, but I'll read you the first pages, first 6 lines. On the El Salvador Honduran border, soldiers called liberators hover in their helicopters, throwing bombs on children and their mothers, so that politicians in Washington, D.C. may avert their glance. A red tide imperils the ocean. The world's child, El Nino, lies swaddled in a pool of blood. It is a distant illusion, not fit to mention or to print. It is news for your dreams only. This happened on the Sumpel River in El Salvador, 1982. 600 peasants, 200 of them children, assassinated. A dream. Well, it goes on, it just gets worse and worse, so I'm not going to read it. But that's stuff that's been going through my mind recently. Now I'm going to read something that is just the opposite of that, I hope. This one is called To Be a Butterfly. I am a moth, a hairy, buggy moth enraptured by flame. Any flame, be it a candle, a torch, a cooking fire, or a lantern. My instinct is simply dangerous and seemingly ignorant. My wings trail the odor of smoke, wafting, trailing spirals of smoke. My mind, too, is consumed in this dream. Oh, what terror when I could have been a simple butterfly with a butterfly brain on a summer's day, and the orchard in full array, a meadow brook, and then to sleep at night, not one candle in sight. Oh, for a simple butterfly heart. Now I'm going to
Yeah, Jay Baba, Ben.
Jay
Hey,
Baba.
Baba, Ben.
Talkative. Yeah.
I'm going to read this poem by Evelyn Eaton, who I liked it so much that I copied and put it in my stack. This is a spring poem for gardeners, and it's called The Gardener. And Evelyn, I think, is one of the lesser known poems of the 20th century. That's all I really know about her. Okay, The Gardener. He used me today. I felt his hand on my life. Grip, turn, lift, high and low, flail, hoe. One with him, tool in his light. And then he left me, propped by the trunk of this old apple tree. I think he intended to mow the weeds round it, but I was too dull to be used. Ant and the spider jeer, traveling my rust. Where is now thy gardener? I believe he has gone for the whetstone. Lord, return, take me up, sharpen me, cut. I will be his, held or discarded, used or useless, shining or covered with rust. Night with its dark corrosion comes, day with its heat. Not yet my Lord's wonderful feet. Love is made of many things, which one free spirit interlaces. The rapture of a bird that sings from ruffled throat that the wind has kissed, the softness of a moving mist, water running in cool streams, laughter, music, books, and dreams, and firelight on smiling faces. Okay, that's Evelyn's poem.
And
Hey,
Ben,
Baba.
how'd you find that poem?
You know, I it was so long ago, Max, I can't remember. It was
Okay.
really,
Mm.
it was quite a long time ago.
Mm.
And but obviously she had a good heart.
Mm.
Okay, now this was not my poem either. You tell me, no, this is a Bob Brown poem.
Bob Brown.
You wonder where I sleep.
Mm.
I sleep within your heart.
Mm.
And all the world is mine, but I am yours. You burn your candle bright, yet I'm the source of light, and all the stars are mine, and I'm yours.
Mm.
The ages pass, the sages ask, they say, when will you come again? I say, when the lion lies with the lamb. And when on the truth you take a stand, I'll be there. You behold the rainbow's hue, yet I'm the one who covets you, and all the world is yours if you are mine.
Mm.
Live in the universe. You are my grandest work, yet the only work I do is to draw you to me. The ages pass, the sages ask, they say, when will you come again? I say, when the lion lies with the Lamb. And when on the truth you take a stand, I'll be there. You wonder where I sleep within your heart. And all the world is mine, but I'm yours. I'm yours. I am yours.
Oh,
Hey, Baba.
Jay Baba, I love
Hey,
that.
Bob, yeah, beautiful
I
choice.
love the song and the poem.
Great
Thank
to
you.
hear it. Yeah.
Happy birthday, Ben.
Oh, yeah, happy birthday. Yeah, all right. I won't ask how old you are.
He's ageless.
Thank you, very good.
Yeah, I forgot.
He's ageless.
Okay.
Where's the birthday cake?
It's in the fridge.
Uh-huh. Okay, Betty, do you have anything for us tonight? Thanks for sharing, Ben. As
Thank
always.
you, Ben. Jay Baba.
I have some of Phyllis Frederick's little poems from Light on Running Water.
Very
Great.
nice.
Oh, yeah,
Good.
good. Mhm.
The original, most whimsical, comical, all points, conical, illimitable, first, most free form, flim flam man I am. His toy, illusion. What a boy to play with illusion. Toss it up, marijuana. Toss it up again. Christ stopped at Eboli and Istanbul and Lima, Peru, Hollywood and Macy's basement, London too, and took the train to Paris. If he's anywhere at all, he's at my doorstep still.
Mm. Mm.
I doubt if God makes up his mind about anything, weaving the universe like an open basket. Wow.
Really.
Courageous as a red poppy in a green field. That's my heart shouting. Love, after all, is the loudest season.
Mm.
Beautiful.
Hmm.
While others make love, I pray. That's okay. That's why he has 2 ears.
Mm.
I'd like to know what forms of life there are on other planets. What edelweiss on snow, what wren picking at what brown seed, what music splintering thin air from alien lips on alien reed.
Mm.
Mhm.
Mm.
You cannot make fire with wet sticks. And that's why we look to him. We have been sitting in the rain for so long, waiting for his jet spark of laughter to dry us all.
Mm.
Mm. Lovely.
Mm.
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 Man cannot have God without telling stories. God cannot have man without creating stories. In this storytelling universe, I am only a comma. We are the awakeners. We carry the word. Tossing his word, we start brush fires everywhere, leaving behind the light on the mountain, the burning town.
Mm.
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 Anyway, she was amazing.
Jay Baba, that would be
Jay
fun to
Baba.
it'd be fun to read her whole book sometime in a Baba Zoom.
Yeah, wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah.
That'd be great. Thank you, sweetheart.
Nice,
Yeah.
Mary.
Okay, I'm gonna call on myself and I'm just gonna do a brief thing. And then the other people who haven't spoken or shared yet verbally can have a chance. And then we can, if people are yearning to, they can go again. I'm gonna do, I've thought of three things that are part of the humor thing that I wasn't even aware of them, and they came to my mind. I wrote this down this morning. I don't know, probably all of you, this happens to you, you're just at your computer and you get a little thought and you just play with it, a notebook
Yeah.
or something. So this one was, I don't even know how I came to think of this today. I had read it a long time ago. There's this thing called the weight of the soul, where some scientist in 1901, he tried to do a scientific experiment measuring the weight the weight of a person's body before. I don't know how I got people to agree to let him do this,
Oh.
but before they died, and then right after they died, and it was like 21 grams lighter
After
they died.
death?
Yeah. So anyway, so I just wrote this little couple sentences. A scientist once determined that, quote, the weight of the soul, unquote, leaving the body at death is 21 grams. That seems rather inconsequential. But think of it from the soul's point of view. Wow, I just dropped 200 pounds.
That was great.
Yeah. That was fun. That's when I guess I feel like I'm a little bit with Baba when something like that comes to me. So this is another funny thing I did. Somebody made reference tonight of the I don't know, very, very early history avatars of thousands and thousands of years ago. And somehow today I was reminded of that. And how Baba said, there's thousands and thousands of cycles of avatars and cycles of cycles. And I thought, so I drew this picture. I'm going to show it to you. Can you see what it is? It's a poster poem. It's a dinosaur, actually. Can you make that out?
Yeah.
With words, and I'll read the words.
Nice, Meg.
Thank you. Was there an avatar in the time of the dinosaurs? 600 million years ago? I guess, wait a minute. And if not, well, no wonder they didn't survive.
I think you're drinking espresso at the coffee shop.
Yeah, well, okay, you got it. You got my secret. And then there's another one from a book I had put together a few years ago that has one. I've always enjoyed this. It's called The Musts Discourse. And the discourse is just ba, ba, ba. And then the must says, Salik-like, I shall now explain to you the significance of the above discourse uttered in my must state. The first ba stands for our Lord God Almighty, Meher Baba, praise to him forever. The second ba regards having distaste for the things of the world. And the third ba, my favorite, means that we should all be like lambs before our beloved God. Jai Baba, everyone.
Jay Baba. Oh, that was great, Max. I loved it. Loved it.
That was a fun moment in my life. It's written in India or something. I think I'm just gonna read one more. And I had a program last week and I read a lot of stuff and played a lot of songs and stuff. Don't forget to catch it on YouTube. I couldn't resist saying
Oh
that.
yeah, right.
It was a
Great.
wonderful experience. It felt we
I
really
missed
connected.
it. Sorry.
And I prepared a lot of new material with just combinations of things. I traced one song that began as a scene in a short story that was in a book of short autobiographical short stories that I realized was a fateful evening in my life, something that happened, just a walk I took on a rainy night. And over time, I realized that what I did there, I was walking to someplace I was going to be moving to. And talking to Baba there in the rain and saying, help me to make my life better when I move here. I just realized how faithful that was. It's a context that the story wove. And then sometime after that, I made it into a poem, and the poem was called Mercy's Ladder, because this was at a time in my life when I felt like Baba had shown me a lot of places where as a friend of mine used to say, places where I was not. And I was really trying to work on myself and get more straight with God. And these things to do would appear to me one after another, you know. I won't go through the litany of it right now, but so it became Mercy's Ladder. And then I did a painting of it, which actually, wait, I might show you the painting. This was not planned, but the short story just had a walk on a rainy night to view this apartment building I was going to be moving into, where my parents had bought a condo for me in this low rent city, St. Louis, Missouri. And it was just an ordinary thing, but this was what I was going through inside, and I was drowning.
Wow.
And the poem Mercy's Ladder is about the ladder that Bob ascent with these steps that I
Wow.
found to take toward him and toward myself, and which led and culminated with, I mean, one of the rungs on the ladder was meeting Barbara on the Baba Talk and moving back out here. And so it was really
Wow.
remarkable. And I mean, and it was wonderful putting all the, and then it became a song, and I sang the song. It was just anyway, it was, I think it was a good hour or so of stuff.
Oh, I'm gonna look. Is it on Baba Zoom?
It's on YouTube, on the Baba Zoom YouTube channel. Yeah, you can
Okay.
look up Baba Zoom and you can subscribe to it or just find it and then just click on it. Yeah. This is I'm just going to read. I found this poem. I was looking for poems for that program last week, and I found this one. I didn't remember writing it or anything, but it was in the last few years or a couple of years probably. I liked reading it, and I'm going to read it now, and that'll be my serious contribution for tonight. A drunken rant to the tavern master. Bartender, make me one with everything. Make me a God cocktail. Empty this bottle into that bottle yourself. Pour every last drop into that container of infinite purity which can never be sullied. The ocean of love that you are. I will keep doing my best as well to pour the dregs of this dark ancient brew of thought, emotion, memory, and desire, to be dissolved in the shaker of your body, and then at your behest, poured back here fresh and clean. I sit beside your picture looking into your eyes, so close, and yet feeling that membrane of separation. Out through these, and feeling that membrane of separation, yeah. Out through these eyes, proverbial windows, and the spout of this bottle, bartender, I send this separation out into your divine container, down through your eyes of unlimitedness. You are the tavern master. Your will is law, and your wish governs the law. Only your mercy will set me free to love and serve and see you in all. Jai Baba.
Oh, Jay Baba.
Okay.
That was wonderful. Thank you,
Yeah, it
Max.
felt nice. Thank you guys. Thanks. It was
Thank
great
you.
sharing with you. And so now let's see if let me get the view of the gallery again. Is there anybody you know how to raise your hand if you haven't had a turn yet and you'd like to say, you could say anything, you can read anything from a Baba book, you can recite a poem or not. I mean, there's no pressure here. But if I see any hands, they usually put you up there.
Marion has
Marion,
her
do you
hand
want
up.
to? Oh, great, Marion. I I ruthlessly interrupted Marion's contribution at the end of Baba Zoom Archie tonight because I
Yes.
thought I was muted and I wasn't. And I don't know whether she's going to do what she was trying to do then or something.
No, but I dedicate this to you, Max,
Okay,
as
thanks. Okay, Marion.
in retribution.
Retribution, you
So
and
I
Donald Trump.
have books of poems. So I'm just going to choose a couple of my lighter ones, just two
Oh,
of
great.
them.
Okay,
And
great.
because I have lots and lots of poems. Also, I'm not from St. Louis proper, but from Brentwood, Missouri, right? St. Louis.
My parents lived in Brentwood. They lived in Brentwood Boulevard. Yeah, right
Yeah,
across from
yeah.
the hospital there, whatever it was.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm from Brentwood. Okay.
Wow.
So, and as you know, we're Cardinal fans there.
Yeah, yeah, believe me, I know.
So Cardinals have just been woven through my life, and I'm a bird watcher. And
Boy.
Cardinals, I have a Cardinal pins, and they're just so significant. That red male Cardinal.
Yeah, I'll have to send you my poem about Stan Musial.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is called The Cardinal.
Yeah.
The Cardinal song, cheer, 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 reminds me another spring is here. Another year gone by, poignantly I cry. And yet your call is reassuring that you haven't forgotten me. You do come for me, don't you? To tell me to trust in the time to live and die and find comfort in eternity. That's
Beautiful.
Mhm.
Jay Baba.
Thank you.
Mike
Yeah.
Farnell one. And then
Nice.
the second one, because the name of it is Hair, Hair.
Mhm.
And it's like there's some significance in even the most insignificant things, right? So this hair. When cutting the lemon at the sink, I saw a dark hair on the edge of it. Looking more closely, was it mine or someone else's? It seemed repulsive as I was preparing my cleansing lemony drink. Yes, it is my hair, fallen, and I stuck it on my forefinger. To release it, I dipped my finger into the measuring cup in the sink with water in it. The hair released into the water, floating to the bottom. Where would it go? Down the drain and out to sea? Hair does not easily dissolve and disintegrate. It remains long after the flesh has rotted away. It is found on mummy tombs, leftover remains from a life well lived or one not so. Like beards, the maggots eat the flesh, but do not savor hair. Hair, we have less of it than our animal forebears. We need less protection. We preen and poof it and sleek it down, curl it, shave it. Where does it go? Out to sea? Or does it get snagged along the way? Jay Baba.
Jay Baba.
Beautiful.
That's great.
That's it. Thank you.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
sharing, Mary.
Meditation.
Anybody else want to raise a hand? And if you haven't shared, and Deborah, great, wonderful. Let's see. Are you unmuted?
Whoops.
Oh,
Are
Deborah.
you? Yeah. Okay. Great.
Yeah. Bye.
Great.
Thank you
Hi.
so much,
Yeah.
Mary, and thank you, Max, for
Mm.
hosting this.
Yeah.
And this is a poem called
Everybody.
Deo Gratias. The sign on the weather-beaten, worm-eaten, wedgewood blue clapboard house is no bigger than an average trout. But what it says is huge. Deo Gratias.
Mm.
Petrified wood painted white, hand carved with those two words by some child, then nailed to the crooked center of the house, between the two windows overlooking the harbor of refuge. What a view, especially at sunset, of the battered down jetties that saved us from the worst of storms. Deo gratias. But because we never took Latin and wouldn't have paid attention even if we did, we had to look up those words when we got home. Our house was only 4 streets away, but far enough for us to forget. All it would take was one puppy barking or a bunny too close to the road or an open mailbox with nothing but a spider inside. So you wrote the words on your hand inside your palm so you wouldn't forget Deo gratias, or the magic marker I found in my raincoat pocket, along with 5 acorns, Kleenex of all shapes, sizes, and degrees of wet and dryness, the house keys, and a packet of peppermint gum. Will wonders ever cease? Don't answer that, please. Thank you, God, it means, the dictionary said. But really, it means so much more than that. It's thanks be to God. Thanks be to God for all things. The Light in a Winter Forest, the books I have not read, the brown-nosed buck wavy under the bird feeder, snorting hello like a pony, and Deo gratias for the 5 speckled blue eggs in the nest above our favorite donut shop door. Forgive me, please, kind sir, for forgetting. You are not Santa Claus. I still expect you to give me everything I want. Don't we all? Don't we all? Deo gratias. And I wouldn't blame you for saying you have had enough and for flattening us all like that Wile E. Coyote cartoon and the Acme anvil he dropped from heaven on that poor roadrunner's head. But lest I forget, Deo gratias, for making all things possible. The dandelion in winter, the parsley under the snow, the earth under our feet, you looking up at me and falling asleep, safe in the knowing God is lowering the curtain of his smiling face on the moon, gazing down at us and always laughing, always laughing. And shame on us for forgetting that's him up there winking at us. Will wonders never cease? Tell us, please, and say no. The miracle is that wonder is forever. That's why it's thank you with a twist. That's why it's thanks be to God for all things, not just the rose's return each summer, but for dust motes and lightning and coral snakes too, and jellyfish that sting and bells that ring, and for saving us from the anvil, when really we should have been turned to dust 2,000 years ago, while we were still wandering around the desert and nailing kind men to crosses. And wouldn't you know it? After we got home, we forgot to wash the words off your hand, and now we can't get them out. So every time you open your palm or wave hello or take someone's hand or reach for a grape or help someone take a loaf of bread off a high shelf or fold them in prayer, you'll hear yourself say, Deo gratias, Deo gratias, and amen.
Oh, Jay Baba, that was so beautiful.
Thank you.
Deborah, thank you.
It's long, but thank you.
Thank
That
you.
was beautiful, beautiful.
God, that was great.
That
I
was
love the way you read it too.
wonderful. Thank you.
It was the icing on the cake.
What a finish.
Poetic cake. It was wonderful.
Yes.
A
Delicious.
very long cake.
Oh,
Well, it takes a long time to bake a good cake, right?
yeah. And
I have to get going, but I love you guys
Okay.
so much.
okay,
And
Mary.
I
Yay,
can't
Baba,
wait until
Mary.
next
See you
time.
soon.
Thank
Jai
you,
Baba.
Matt.
Good night.
Thank
Sleep
you.
well.
To Jay
I'm gonna
Baba.
go, but you guys can continue.
We can.
Thank
I'm
you.
going to.
Jay
Jay
Baba,
Bob,
Okay,
everyone.
love
maybe
you
we'll just,
all.
I think
See
we'll
you
call
in
it a night
July
unless
for
somebody.
Silence Day.
Okay. Avatar,
Jay
Mayor
Baba.
Baba.
TJ.
Avatar, Mayor Baba.
Baba.
TJ.
Jay.
Avatar,
Avtar.
Mayor
Amen, Baba.
God,
EJ.
TJ.
Yes.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Gotta stop
Thank you for
recording.
this. Thank you.
Deborah, I'm gonna
As
have
well.
to ask you to read